Most scouts saw Vrenz for the first time at the Under-16 European Championship in Sofia in 2016. He represented Belgium national team in every summer since then, playing for the Under-18 and Under-20 team. Belgium played all those years in the B division, and Vrenz led the Under-18 team to a third place in 2018 in Skopje with a triple-double performance in the third place match against Estonia, and also led the Under-20 team to a third place in Portugal in 2019. He finished in the all-tournament team in both tournaments. In November 2020, in the Eurobasket qualifiers, Vrenz played his first official game for the Belgium senior national team when he got 2 minutes against Czech Republic and grabbed 1 rebound in that game, but other stats columns were empty. In the 2018-2019 season, he made a debut for his club Antwerp Giants in the Belgium League and also in the Basketball Champions League. He had a minor role in the first 2 seasons, but this season, in his 3rd season in the team, he made a big step forward and is one of the most important players in the team. Antwerp also played an Eurocup in this season, right behind EuroLeague, the 2nd strongest competition in Europe. Vrenz averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists per game in the competition and has similar numbers in the Belgian League too, but the competition level there is much lower in comparison with Eurocup. That was a short walk through his career so far, but let's focus now on the present and his future. Per most sides, he is 6'10" and can play on many positions. His versatility is one of his main strengths, but fits best in the point forward role where he is facilitating the offense and running some pick and rolls. With his size, he can see above the defender and deliver passes in all directions. His pick and roll game with Ibrahimovic in the first half of the season was nice to watch, and most bigs in the NBA have the athleticism like Fai, and Vrenz would definitely have fun running some pick and rolls with those types of players. He's not just passing the balls above the rim, but can make other types of passes too that most players with that size cannot make. Some of his passes need to be sharper and he must read the defense a little better, since some passes can be intercepted too easily even on this level, and the margin for error in the NBA is even smaller. Some of the passes are just too risky and won't go through in the NBA, so he needs to be more cautious in this area. Overall, his playmaking skills are on a high level, especially for a player his size. Moving on to his shooting. He has worked a lot on his shot in the off-season and it's paying dividends. He turns his body after he takes the shot and loses some accuracy that way, and this raises some questions in my head about how consistent and reliable he can be as a shooter. He's shooting around 33% for 3 and less than 70% from the free throw line so far in his career, and those numbers should get only better, especially if we take in consideration the time he's putting on improving his shot. The NBA range won't be a big problem for Vrenz because he's already taking some shots from long range, and some of those step-back threes that he made in this season are not easy for smaller guys, let alone for a 6'10" player. This just proves how mobile he is for a player his size. And if you add some ball handling skills in the mix to that mobility and size, you get a player that has no problem handling the ball and pushing forward in transition. He's really fluid with the ball, has long strides and hard to stop when he runs the floor. He likes to push after getting a rebound, and this translates to nowadays NBA game perfectly. In half-court sets, I would love to see him attacking the rim and using his size advantage in comparison to other guards more often, since he has all the physical and technical tools to do so. Vrenz also has some space on his frame to add some additional pounds of muscle mass and become better at absorbing the contact. Definitely needs to work on his driving angles and attack the rim under a sharper angle, because he can get into some difficult spots, but showing some decent touch on those around the rim finishes, and when he improves his upper body, he should be able to make more of those contested shots too. Jumping on to his defense. Again, with his combination of size and mobility, he has the ability to defend multiple positions. His hips are a little stiff and has a high gravity point, so his reactions are sometimes on the slower side, and elite athletes in the NBA could take advantage of that. With his length, he can cover up the lack of elite athleticism and also recovers well and contest shots after he's beaten. When he develops his body and adds more muscle, he could fix a little some of those issues, but probably won't become much more than a decent defender on NBA level. Vrenz also has some troubles when defending the pick and roll ball handler. Not the best at reading and maneuvering around screens and giving too much space to the ball handler. Not always his fault though, but he's able to do a better job in defending the pick and rolls. A bigger issue than his on-ball defense is in my opinion his off-ball defense. From the games that I've seen, he was caught on the wrong foot or completely lost the man he should be guarding too many times. When he loses the focus and is watching the ball, this man gets a big advantage and definitely needs to put more attention into his off-ball defense. Also, when Vrenz is defending a shooter, he's usually a few steps behind. Otherwise, his court awareness and understanding of the defensive rotations is on a decent level, just the lack of focus is causing some problems. Vrenz also likes to use his long limbs for some steals or interceptions. In some occasions, his reads are a little off, which results in him falling out of the defensive scheme and needs to become smarter in those situations. But with his coordination and quickness, he can make some steals which resulted in easy points in transition. Also can contest and block some shots at the rim, but questionable how this can translate to NBA level against better athletes. To sum up, Vrenz is definitely an interesting prospect with a pretty rare combination of skills and physical tools. His versatility is his main selling point and he can play many roles and positions in offense. He can facilitate the offense, but a better question is how much he can help his team off ball and if he can sink those open shots consistently. Most NBA teams could use a player like Vrenz in their roster and he can become a good rotation player and in best case scenario even sometimes jump in the starting 5.